Hello and welcome to the first of a series of tutorials to assist members of the House of Delegates of the Michigan Dental Association with their preparations for their annual business meeting. While written for the MDA House members, many of the principles presented will be discussed in generic terms to assist anyone who views these videos with effective participation in any meeting which utilizes parliamentary procedure. Information for these tutorials has been gathered from a variety of resources, and you may also wish to consult any of the following. The top 3 may be viewed on the MDA website under the Professional section, Professional tabs, MDA Governance link. The standard code is the parliamentary authority for the MDA House of Delegates. Copies may be purchased from a variety of resources such as Amazon.com. So what is the purpose of parliamentary procedure? As defined by the standard code, it is to facilitate the transaction of business and to promote cooperation and harmony in a deliberative assembly. The House of Delegates of the MDA is the assembly of member dentists representative of various components in the state of Michigan, with greater than 100 voting members, committee chairs, past presidents, ADA council members, and the Board of Trustees. It is imperative that some structure and decorum be observed to assist in the proceedings of the business before the House. As such, some of the manners observed may be different from what you have witnessed in a smaller committee or board meeting. Furthermore, parliamentary procedure is the democratic process by which groups in a free society elect leaders, bring forth ideas, debate those ideas, refine them, and reach decisions. The common law of parliamentary procedure is a body of principles, rules, and usages developed over several centuries from the experience of people working together for a common purpose. The principles and rules of parliamentary procedure are considered to be the proper and legal way of transacting business in a meeting. They are used by a variety of volunteer groups and professional associations like the Michigan Dental Association. Business comes before the House of Delegates in the form of resolutions. Resolutions are written motions and are in a format that begins with the word resolved. Resolutions may come from members, committees, components, districts, and the Board of Trustees. They usually have enough of a background statement included or a reference in a committee report so that the reader understands the rationale for the business being presented. Resolutions and reports to the House are presented prior to the annual meeting and posted on the Internet in the House of Delegate section under the Governance tab. As the meeting nears, you will receive information on the variety of manners in which you may receive important information. At the opening session of the House, the Speaker calls for the introduction of new business. This is the last time that new business may be entered before the House of Delegates without unanimous consent of the Assembly. If a member has new business, it is highly encouraged that he or she has typed copies of this available for the House to view, or at least have informed the MDA Secretary and House of Delegates staff so that appropriate measures may be taken to have the motion projected in front of the House when appropriate. Recently added to the resolution submission form is a cost allocation for MDA funds as well as the cost to the individual MDA member. Amendments to the MDA bylaws received after the 45-day deadline require a 3/4 affirmative vote of the delegates present in order to be adopted. Reference committee hearings are immediately held after the close of business on the first day. Please consult the annual session program for times and locations. Generally, there are 2 reference committees, A and B. However, the Speaker may appoint additional reference committees as needed. Prior to the annual session of the House of Delegates, each resolution submitted in advance is assigned to a reference committee and an agenda is created and transmitted to everyone attending the meeting. House materials are posted online in the MDA website under the Professional section Governance link. The Speaker may refer other items of business to a reference committee during the course of business. The primary duty of a reference committee is to recommend to the House of Delegates an appropriate course of action on matters which have been referred to the committee for its consideration. This duty can best be discharged by evaluating all assigned resolutions and reports on the basis of the best information and the advice that is available. Its decisions and recommendations should be made in the best interest of the public, the association, and the dental profession. It is not the duty of a reference committee to attempt to prevent the House of Delegates from taking action on any matter which has been presented. Nor is it the committee's duty to accept automatically and without deliberation the opinion of its own members or the opinions of those who have testified. A reference committee fulfills its duty when it takes into consideration all these factors and advises the House to adopt, not adopt, amend, or refer a resolution which has been placed before it. Furthermore, it may make an explanation of the committee's decision before recommending action to the House of Delegates regarding the disposition of a resolution. Reference committees may call upon any resource when it desires to obtain the information. Members of standing committees, MDA staff, legal counsel, officers and trustees of the association will be available at hearings to provide information requested by reference committee members or through the chair by those participating in the discussion. It should also be noted that reference committee hearings are open to the public, and at times, members of the media or other organizations may be present. Public members are required to identify themselves at the beginning of the hearing. Any MDA member may give testimony at the reference committee hearing. According to the Guide for Delegates and Alternates, a delegate is one who is chosen to represent the members of his or her constituent dental society or the Michigan Dental Schools in the MDA House of Delegates. The duties of a delegate are to attend the annual meeting and all business sessions and caucuses before and during the annual meeting, to be informed regarding the issues proposed for action during the meeting, to be informed regarding the rules of procedure, conduct, and decorum in the business sessions of the annual meeting, to vote for what the delegate believes is best for the profession and the public it serves, and to be prepared to report to the delegate's constituency after the annual meeting on the business that was transacted during the meeting. An alternate delegate is one who is chosen to act as a substitute for a delegate. An alternate can either be paired with a specific delegate or can be chosen according to a numerical rank, such as first, second delegate. This is decided by the component dental society. The following are the duties of an alternate. To be available to perform the duties of a delegate for the entire annual meeting or any portion thereof, should the delegate be required to withdraw. To register with the House Committee on Credentials, Rules, and Order, and to obtain the proper delegate credentials prior to assuming the delegate's duties. And to fulfill the responsibility of a delegate should he or she be required to do so. In other words, to fulfill a delegate's or alternate's responsibility to its component, attendance at a reference committee is very crucial. What may a delegate or alternate accomplish at a hearing? The reference committee is the best opportunity to actually deliver testimony in a forum that can affect the recommendation of a reference committee to the House of Delegate on any resolution. There are no votes, and an individual testifying cannot be cut off by motions, though testimony may be limited to a single presentation from a member and time limits as determined by the reference committee chair. Any member presenting testimony may make suggestions to be incorporated in a final resolution, but a motion and vote is not taken. To facilitate the deliberations of the reference committee, those testifying should prepare their suggestions in writing to present to the committee chair. Delegates and alternates may also gain a better understanding of the resolution, where all information may be presented in a manner that is not impeded by the limitations of debate. As noted under the third duty of a delegate, it is essential for any delegate or alternate to be informed of the rules of procedure, conduct, and decorum in the business session of the annual meeting. Therefore, a future tutorial will detail the process of amending resolutions or motions. Thank you for taking the time to view this tutorial. Please feel free to leave feedback in the YouTube notes section below or email me directly.